Hey everybody, it's Preston here, aka Godzilla Hawk, and welcome to the second episode of the Wednesday Night War series I'm doing on YouTube for AEW and NXT. So, if you want to know, I'm doing this new series where I judge AEW and NXT. I review both shows that happen on the same night, and I give my honest thoughts about each show, segment, match, and what I thought was the better overall show. I did my very first episode last week. I believe it was Thursday. No, I think it was Friday. I think it was Friday or Saturday. So it was a very late review. So I'm doing a review now for this week's edition of both AEW and NXT. So you can check that out. The very first episode on my YouTube channel. You can check that out. And so far, I gave NXT the win. I thought NXT was the better show last week. Will the same be said about this show this week? Well, we'll find out. So, a lot happened on NXT, so I had to get the thing up on my laptop. But, I figured I'd go ahead and talk about AEW first, because I watched that first, and then I'll talk about NXT and what I thought. So, AEW was the second episode of AEW Dynamite. So, we opened the contest with the first round of the AEW Tag Team Championship Tournament, the Private Party versus the Young Bucks. This was a great match. A lot of great near falls, high flying aerial assault spots. Not as crazy as I thought it would be, but I'm pretty sure that this is just the beginning of many matches with these two to come, or these four teams, I should say, or four guys, I should say. Just an all around great match. The Young Bucks dominated a good chunk of it. They really put Private Party over. That's the one thing I really liked. I don't know if you guys know, when Private Party first came out, I mean, they got a decent reaction, but it wasn't anything groundbreaking. But during the match, they were slowly getting more chants and more Private Party chants, and they were getting louder and louder. So I appreciate the fact that they were actually making the newer guys getting the newer guys over that way. The match is great, but at the end of the day, shocking victory. Young Bucks was probably one of the favorite team to win this whole tournament, and they lost. They lost to, clean as a whistle, to Private Party. I was shocked. I was like, whoa, they give it a Private Party? That was great. Wow, shock. But in a good shock way. Like I thought it was a great match. Private Party advances to the semifinals, I believe it is. Yeah, so they are officially in the semifinals. So they will face the winners of the Lucha Bros and Jurassic Express. I believe that match, it will be next week, I think it will be. So we'll see what happens with that one. But that's actually kind of cool that we're doing that. Overall, I thought it was a really good match. A very great match and a great opener. Next, we get the segment. I'm going to say this right now, segment of the night. Of the entire thing, of this entire war, in my opinion. We had Jericho come out, the AEW champion, with Sammy Guevara, Santana Ortiz, and Jake Hager, sorry, got Jack Swagger in my mind. They all come out, and basically Jericho announces that this was a group, this is a new faction, new stable, and they're basically here to take over, the AEW roster, and then we're going to be the most dominant force. But then this is when the promo segment got really good. There's a "We the People" chant, and Jericho basically says that chant is dead and buried. It was created by. It was born by bad creative. Basically is what he said. I laughed and I went, oh shit. That, ladies and gentlemen, is freaking awesome. I love that segment. I love the entire thing of them introducing everybody, why Chris Jericho formed this faction. So the faction name is going to be the Inner Circle. that's a interesting name. But again, I've heard way worse names for factions. It's not the worst name. Inner Circle, that's a little weird. It's definitely going to take some time getting used to, but it is what it is. They already have new shirts and everything, so they also announced that he and Sammy are going to defeat Dustin Rhodes and Hangman Page later on tonight at the main event. So great segment. It built a lot more character involved with everybody. Good amount of TV time. Jericho got to be completely unscripted, which was really nice. I just love the segment. I don't really have any faults with it. Next match, we got Darby Allin versus Jimmy Havoc. Winner would fight Jericho next week for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. This match was good. I'm not going to say it was anything groundbreaking. It wasn't bad at all. But it was solid. I thought it was a good match. It was a little slow at times. And then the ending coffin drop by Darby Allin. Jimmy Havoc was a little far away, so he barely got him. But Darby Allin ended up winning. So it's going to be Darby Allin versus Chris Jericho next week for a heavyweight championship. Actually, you know what? I'm actually kind of excited for that match. And here's something that a lot of people probably don't know. Very interesting little story they could tell. And this is the only nitpick I have. And I'll get into more of the ending. I'll just show just a little nitpick that nobody's really thinking. Ever since Darby Allin and Cody Rhodes had that match at Fyter Fest, both of those two wanted to have a rematch somewhere down the line. It's very slim. It's a very slim chance, but there's a chance that Darby could win the heavyweight title from Jericho next week. And if he does, that means he will be fighting Cody Rhodes in a rematch at Full Gear. He would get his rematch against Cody. But this time, the heavyweight title would be on the line. I think that's actually pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. I think that's cool. I don't know if they play up on commentary or not, but I looked at that and went, how come we're not discussing that? That's story. That's story and character development. Like, Darby Allin not only has a chance to win the heavyweight championship, he has a chance then to go on and have that rematch he wanted to have since Fyter Fest. That went to a draw. And have a chance to finally beat Cody. It's a good story. I'll get into the ending in a little bit to show my little nitpick on that. But that's basically Darby Allin and Jericho. Should be very good. Oh, God. Let's see. Crap. I forgot the name. But I know it was a women's. Oh, they another segment with the best friends, Trent Beretta and Chuck Taylor, or Chucky T. Let's give out basically their chances of winning the whole tournament, what they think. And they went to like, well, why don't you ask this guy? And you see Orange Cassidy in the crowd just, because he's a lazy wrestler, that's his gimmick. But he does look familiar. I don't know. He looks very solo, a little hairy like a monster. I don't know. Yeah, he's a solo guy, but he's very hairy like a monster. I can't put my finger on it. Maybe the audience will let me know in the comments down below what Orange Cassidy looks like, but he looks familiar. Just can't put my finger on it. Well, at least hey, at least Sunday we're getting a Solid Monster podcast, so that's always cool to hear. But yeah, no, I can't think of who Orange Cassidy reminds me of. Huh? That's really gonna bother me. Anywho, so next up we got a women's tag team match. I forgot one of the names, but I know it's Britt Baker, Riho, the AEW Women's Champion, taking on Bea Priestley, and it was Riho's teacher. Oh, crap. Sorry, guys. It's bothering me. Let me see here. Sorry, guys. I just. Ads. Oh, there we go. Oh, God. Sorry, guys. Ads. I'm just looking at the results here. Okay, here we go. So it was Riho, Britt Baker defeating Bea Priestley and Emi Sakura. Emi Sakura? I think that's how you pronounce it. So, apparently Sakura helped train Riho. So, for a match, it was fine. It wasn't anything bad. It wasn't anything memorable. It was just a little tag team women's match to get the women over. Of course, Britt Baker and Bea Priestley have been feuding for a few months now, so they're kind of telling that story. But Riho and Britt Baker ended up winning. And it was also announced later in the show that was going to be Britt Baker and Riho for the Women's Championship next week as well. So 2 championship matches plus a AEW Tag Team Championship Tournament match, which will be Lucha Bros and Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. That's not a bad card. That's not a bad card thus far. And you add the Darby Allin, Jericho, and of course Riho and Britt Baker. That's not bad. That is not a bad card at all. So, I have a prediction for this. I think what's going to happen in terms of Riho and Britt Baker, I think Britt looks like she's about to win the championship. But Priestley gets involved and either gets the match DQ'd or she costs Britt Baker the match. And thus that sets up maybe a 3-way between Riho, Priestley, and Baker at maybe Full Gear for a championship. I just don't see Britt Baker winning next week. I don't. I think they're going to keep the title on Riho. But this could be a setup for a triple threat at or a 3-way, whatever you want to call it, at Full Gear. I think that's where it's hanging. We'll see what happens though, but should be an interesting match. Next we have, it was Jon Moxley making his TV appearance on TNT, taking on formerly known as Ty Dillinger, Shawn Spears with Tully Blanchard. Basically, good half of this match was Moxley beating the crap out of Shawn Spears. Shawn got a little bit offensive, but at the end of the day, Moxley won. I decided it was kind of similar to the Shawn Spears and Cody Rhodes match. If you love that match, you'll probably love this match too. It was a very basic, like, old school match where Moxley just going crazy and being the crap out of Shawn Spears, and Shawn Spears trying to take advantage of situations. Not a terrible match. It was the match was pretty decent. But Moxley ended up winning, so Shawn Spears loses again. Then we see Kenny Omega come out because Omega and Moxley are feuding, and they have a match coming up at Full Gear. Keep in mind too, Pac was actually on commentary, and I actually question this too because Pac made a good point. Pac is 2-0, and he's beaten Kenny Omega and Heyman Page. Why wasn't Pac in a decision to have at least a chance of fighting for the championship? And I admit that too. I'm like, why are Jimmy Havoc and Darby Allin in this? Darby Allin, yeah, he got a victory over Shima, and then he was oppressive in this match with Cody, went to a draw, but he hasn't really won that many matches. He lost the 3-way Cracker Barrel match, and then he lost a 6-man tag. And Jimmy Jacobs has lost basically all of his matches except for the Cracker Barrel 3-way match at All Out. So I was a little confused, but Pac actually basically had the same question I did. It's like, why was I not in this match? Why am I not fighting Jericho? At least they're telling a story. At least they didn't forget about it. They're acknowledging it. But, so he was on commentary. You see Kenny Omega come out. He has a few weapons in his hand. He's got a weapon in each hand. He throws Moxley a baseball bat wrapped in barbed wire. And Moxley, on his other hand, is holding a broomstick wrapped in barbed wire. Not like they're about to have a duel with barbed wire weapons when all of a sudden Pac shows up, attacks Omega from behind with the chair, and then just walks off. Moxley takes a look at Omega down on the ground and drops the baseball bat, shakes his head, and just walks off. So we have that going on. So very interesting. More storytelling with that. I like that. I would like some more interviews and more character development from both of them. I mean, I know who these guys are, but a lot of people don't know who these guys are. Well, maybe they might know Moxley, but they don't know Kenny Omega. So I just like a little bit more interviews. That's going to be a thing I'm going to discuss at the end of the show. Then we get the main event. It was Dustin Rhodes and Hangman Page versus Jericho and Sammy Guevara. I thought it was a very good, basic tag team match. Nothing really overexciting, but good nonetheless. Match ends with basically Jericho hit the Judas effect on Dustin Rhodes. He beat Dustin. Hangman Page is brawling with Jake Hager, and they go fighting in the back. Cody comes out and attacks Jericho. We have Ortiz and Santana come out, beat down Cody. The Young Bucks. MJF comes out, and the Inner Circle have Cody, and they're teasing MJF turning on Cody. They're really teasing it. Like, is MJF going to finally do it? Is he going to be the evil bastard we've always known him to be? And no, he attacks the Inner Circle, tries to help Cody out, but gets a code breaker, gets beaten down. Which I do like, because it's very interesting that we have a heel that's friends with a babyface. But let's be honest, we all know that MJF's going to turn on Cody. It may not happen today, it may not happen next week, it may not happen for another month. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. Then the Young Bucks show up to help the odds out, and they get the upper hand on the Inner Circle. So they get a little bit of retribution from last week. Jericho is on the ramp, blowing how he's the champion. He gets attacked by Darby Allin, who skateboards down and attacks Jericho, and then stands in the ring with Cody and the others and stares him down, indicating that Darby Allin is still number one contender to fight for the Heavyweight Championship next week, which I think will still be a very good match. Now this is where I go a little nitpick, because basically the show ends there. I kind of wish Darby Allin at least got on the mic or something, did something like this. Very simple promo, just get the mic and say, "Hey Jericho, next week, I'm taking the World Heavyweight Championship from you." And then he just turns to Cody and stares at him. And then tells Cody, "And then after I'm done winning the world title, I'm coming after you." And there you go. To pretty much set the stage that they would be the next match for Full Gear, and there's story behind it, and there's that. So I really hope they did. They didn't do that this week, or at least at any point. I think they should have, because it's true. If Darby Allin wins the World Heavyweight Championship, then he defends against Cody, which is the guy that Darby wants to fight, because he and Cody had a draw last time. They have unfinished business. It's simple storytelling, and it also puts us in the mindset thinking, oh, Darby Allin could win. And it makes sense. There's a chance Darby can win. It's not just, oh yeah, Jericho's winning. It's, oh, Darby has a slim chance, but he could win and fight Cody, get his rematch. Which we all know Chris Jericho's going to win, but it's nice to have that little thing in the back of our mind thinking, like, it's realistic that Darby could win. And that would mean he would get his revenge on Cody for that draw. Have a rematch. So I think that, I wish they kind of included that. So I really hope they include, at least in the opening segment for this show, for next week's show. I really hope they do. Because that's very important. That's called storytelling. But that's basically it with AEW. Again, my only real gripe with this show was, again, I kind of wish I did a little bit more, whether it's promo packages for certain wrestlers or like interviews. I kind of wish they did a little bit more of that on the show. It felt like they did a lot more of that last week than they did this week. But I'll say, I think I enjoyed the show a lot more than I did the first show. The first show I thought was great still, but this one I just enjoyed a little bit more. I don't know why, I just did. But I would say biggest downfall would just be the kind of a little bit more interviews and more promo packages for some of the wrestlers, so we kind of know more about them. Now, with that being said, that's AEW. We'll move on to NXT, and I'll give you my thoughts on what I thought was the better show. So, let's go ahead and get down here. So, we had the NXT. So, we open up with the NXT. Yes, they're calling it NXT Cruiserweight Championship. We got Lio Rush versus Drew Gulak for the Cruiserweight Championship. This was a very good opener. Both these guys work well with each other. Near falls, counters, high speed, technical wrestling. Basically what you want to have a high-flying technical match. And at the end of the day, Lio Rush is the new Cruiserweight Champion. So congratulations, Lio Rush. We see Rico come out about to celebrate with Lio and put the strap around him. Drew Gulak takes the title away, hands it to Lio Rush personally, and shakes his hand, earning his respect. So, Lio Rush, new Cruiserweight Champion, very good opener. Let's see. Next, we have Rhea Ripley defeat Aaliyah by submission. Rhea basically destroyed Aaliyah, but it was the way she beat her that was kind of cool. So basically, she finished off Aaliyah by putting like an inverted figure four, I think it's like an Indian deathlock they call it. Pretty much an inverted deathlock on her, inverted like a figure four. And she doesn't just sit on Aaliyah a few times. She actually raised her up, like it made her while doing it, which looked painful. And she even swung her around a little bit. And not only that, she put her back on the ground until finally Aaliyah tapped. Rhea gets on mic and basically says, Shane, you've dominated everybody here in NXT. You've beaten everybody, but you haven't beaten me. So throw your name in the hat of contenders for Shane to possibly fight in the near future. Which honestly, I would like to see that match. Next, we got Breezango coming out as, I think it was men at work or like construction workers. They're supposed to fight Everrise, but Everrise got taken out by Forgotten Sons. They haven't been on NXT for a little while. Forgotten Sons ended up being Breezango because Breezango got victory over them on one of the episodes of NXT like a month or two ago, so they got retribution. Look, I don't care what anybody says. I like the Forgotten Sons. I think I might be my only person in the world that likes the Forgotten Sons. I like him. Wesley Blake's talented. Jesse Reckner, formerly known as Gunner's talented. Steve Cutler's talented. They're all talented guys, and I like the gimmick. I just don't understand why people don't like him. I think some of us would like to have the same thing. They're just kind of generic. I don't mind them. I liked all three of these guys. I like the Forgotten Sons a lot. So, again, that's my personal opinion. It's not a fact. The Forgotten Sons are amazing. It's just a personal opinion of mine, but I am a fan of theirs. But the match wasn't really anything special. It was basically just Forgotten Sons get a victory over Breezango. Next, we get Cameron Grimes defeated Boa. Basically, another squash match, like a 10-second match. The match was going to happen until Killian Dain shows up. And referee head was turned and Grimes hit this double stomp. Pins Boa almost immediately. And then as soon as Killian Dain gets in the ring, the count's made. Grimes gets out of the ring and Killian Dain pretty much beats the crap out of Boa. And it screams to the commentary team saying that this is just the beginning. So Dane is honestly mad and pissed off of what happened to him with Riddle. So it looks like he's gonna maybe get revenge on Riddle or start a new program. But yeah, so we had that going on. We had a vigilante or vignettes show of Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic, Pete Dunne, and Damian Priest basically set up their matches for next week. So Keith Lee, Dominic Dijakovic are going to have their rubber match next week. Oh my god, I love watching those guys perform. And Damian Priest and Pete Dunne next week, so that's going to be very interesting. So we got 2 big matches for next week's NXT. Next we had Roderick Strong, the new North American champion, taking on Isaiah Swerve Scott, or formerly known as Killshot from Lucha Underground. This match was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. My personal opinion, I thought this was the NXT match of the night. I think it might be a match of the night for both shows. It was definitely a contender between this and the Private Party Young Bucks. Both of those were equally great. I think I like this one a little bit more. I have to rewatch. I'll have to rewatch both those matches again. But this was a great match. Isaiah almost had a victory until Undisputed distracted him. And Roderick Strong got the win. The assist. So out of that, then we go into this segment. AEW had their segment. NXT had theirs. Ooh, so Undisputed Era come out basically brag about how they're the best in their on NXT. Finn Balor can't hold a candle to them. Tommaso Ciampa can't hold to them. Velveteen Dream can't hold to them. You know, all of them can dream of beating them, but they'll never beat them. Then Dream appears on one of the scaffolds or one of the towers inside the building, and says that in 2 weeks, Roderick Strong, I'm going to beat you for your North American Championship. Before showing a picture of Roderick Strong doing the infamous Shawn Michaels pose with the title where he's basically naked and they have the championship covering his crotch area. And basically, it says here that he would prove in 2 weeks during his rematch for the title. He basically said in 2 weeks you're gonna realize, Strong, that you just don't measure up. Snaps his fingers and the belt disappears with Roderick Strong with a blurred image of looks like a microscopic penis. I'm going to repeat that again. Velveteen Dream snapped his fingers, and the tile and the Roderick Strong picture that he showed on the Titantron disappears, and it shows him pretty much completely naked with a blur sensor bar over his crotch area, indicating that he has a small crotch. I wish I was making this up, but I'm not going to lie, I laughed. I don't know what it was. I just laughed. And I went, that ain't PG. That ain't PG. But so that happens, and then Tommaso Ciampa comes out with his crutch that he used against Gargano. Love that feud. Undisputed scurry away. Ciampa gets a chair, places it in the ring. It pretty much says 3 words. Gets to the point. Looks at Adam Cole with the NXT Championship and goes, Goldie, Daddy's back. And the crowd popped. Simple but effective. But this one I also liked. So Kathy Kelly's in the back and she decides to interview Tommaso Ciampa until Angel Garza, big fan of Angel Garza, comes back and pretty much follows Kathy Kelly and Tommaso Ciampa, telling Kathy, like, you're basically interviewing this guy? This guy's been out for almost a year. This guy's the past. This guy's old. He's washed up. You should be doing this interview with me, the future of this business. and it basically cuts this Tommaso Ciampa out in Spanish, and Ciampa just blatantly just punches him right in the face and knocks him down. And this made me laugh a lot. After that, after he punches Angel, Kathy just turns to Ciampa and asks him, "Do you care to translate what Angel just told you?" And Ciampa with a straight face just goes, "I have no idea what he said," and walks up, and I fucking died. I was laughing. Oh, Ciampa, we all missed you, you beautiful bastard. We love you. Oh, it's just great. Next, we have Bianca Belair defeating Dakota Kai. This match was okay. I've seen some people really overpraising this match. It wasn't that good. It was solid at best, maybe decent. It was really slow, and honestly, Dakota should have not lost. I'm sorry, Dakota losing was not the right move. Dakota should have won. One, I'm kind of getting sick of Bianca Belair. I'm at that point where I'm kind of getting her at overrated levels. And two, Dakota Kai just got back from an injury. They're trying to build her back up, and her second match back and she loses. I'm sorry, I don't like that. I don't like that. Bianca Belair gets on my saying the same thing, saying that she wants a shot at Shayna Baszler, so Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley, winner fights Shayna Baszler. Yeah, if Bianca Belair wins that one, I will be mad if they decide to do something like that. But it should have been Dakota winning and maybe doing Rhea Ripley and Dakota Kai. We got the main event. Kushida versus Walter. It's a battle streaks. Both men are undefeated. They've never lost a match yet. This was a good match. I don't think it was great. I think it could have been a lot better, but for what they did, it was a good TV match. Kushida used his speed and agility to try to out-wrestle Walter, but Walter was too big, too powerful, too strong, and Walter basically just won. They won the match. Walter won the match. He beat Kushida, and that was about it. So Kushida is no longer defeated, but Walter is. So that was basically that for the shows. So you can see both shows have their ups and downs for the week. Yeah, so both shows were a little bit more even, I would say. NXT was by far way better than last week, but this week it was still good, but it just wasn't as great as last week's. Meanwhile, AEW felt a lot better. So if I had to figure out who won this, I think it was AEW. I'm gonna say AEW was